Alright, YouTube, sound the alarm. I have foreseen this day coming since about a year before gay marriage was affirmed its constitutionality. What I'm talking about is the religious right-wingers have now aimed their pikes and halberds and swords towards the polygamous community, and that applies to polygamy and polyandry, probably polygamous groups involving all males or all females, because, you know, now that they lost the uphill decades battle against gay people, they are now sharpening their sticks and preparing to wage war against the polygamous community. Because, hey, we all need a different group to beat up on, right? In my case, it's these jackoffs. So I'm going to talk about my views on polygamy, polyandry, open relationships, any of these things. And I also wanted to talk about when I predict this type of issue will happen or be discussed in the Supreme Court. Now, and what I feel, now I do believe it's somewhat odd. I couldn't see, from a personal standpoint, I couldn't see myself with many wives or being like someone's third husband and she's still married to the other two and we all live in the same house. That's just odd to me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to prevent that from I'm going to let that prevent me from, you know, genuinely enjoying someone's company, or I'm just not going to view them any different. I just personally find it somewhat odd, but I'm not going to, you know, odd doesn't mean uncomfortable. Yeah, so I don't really give a rat's ass about what you do in the bedroom. I don't care who you fall in love with, how many people you fall in love with. I know I'm probably the minority in this, in popular opinion as of now, but really it's these same religious zealots' religion that is imposing this traditional marriage, because at man's core, we are a polygamous animal. Before this whole concept of, you know, the perfect ideal marriage, this homogeneous, or, yeah, homogeneous relationship hit the scene, it was largely a polygamous group. You know, Caveman Bob had 7 mating partners and they all lived together in the same cave. This isn't anything new. It's pretty much ingrained into man's psyche. So, knowing this, it doesn't really faze me. It doesn't really bother me. What does bother me is people trying to label and classify and dissect and trying to qualify what a true relationship is and truly loving someone is. That's what irks me. I'm not going to be surprised if the actual view of traditional marriage changes within the next generation. You know, the old generation of grandpas and grandmas who are all overzealous and homophobic will die off within the next few decades. That's inevitable. So when they pass the torch to their great-grandkids or something, these are going to be the religious zealots who see traditional marriage not between a man and a woman, but just two partners in a homogeneous, Jesus Christ, homogeneous relationship. I do expect that to happen, and that's somewhat funny. I do feel that views towards the gay population in the South will be dramatically better come 2 decades from now. But I see this first hitting the scene at the Supreme Court, maybe a decade or 2 decades from now. I'm not going to attest that it's going to be affirmed constitutionality, but I will say it will at least hit the Supreme Court by then. Now, one thing I've noticed about the polygamous community is they're a lot more open than the gay community has been. And I don't mean currently, the gay community has been very boisterous in the 2010s, later 2000s. But, you're not going to have a Laramie. If you don't know what Laramie is, read a book called The Laramie Project or watch the movie. Very great book, 10 out of 10. I would highly recommend the book. But you see these TV shows on TLC, I'm married to 5 wives. I have 17 wives and 48 children from these wives. What else? That one guy who's married to, like, all these biological sisters. Now, that one is a little odd, but whatever. I'm not going to judge anybody based on that. Love is love, and these right-wingers are now pissed off. Christian right-wingers, let's face it, are now pissed off that they lost the battle against gay people that they've been fighting for decades, and now the people who have been wrong on most social issues for the past half century are now about to invade, besiege the, or attempt to, rather, the castle or the kingdom of the polygamous people. Eventually, they'll have their right to, because love always prevails. Peace out. See you guys later.